Recognize the challenges associated with monolith applications in the cloud along with benefits afforded by microservices. When we follow monolithic application approach, architecture is usually self-contained. But yes, you'll have all the components tightly coupled, and that will create a challenge. The challenge would be related to execution. It means whenever we execute or compile monolithic software, all the components should be available or the build will fail. It means even if you are going with monolithic application approach, you need to ensure that business layer, data access layer are separated at runtime. Even though various different components are separated, but when you'll go at runtime, all of them will come together and run as one process. After understanding monolithic application, which means that it is self-contained and all components come together at runtime as a single process, let's go and identify critical components of monolithic application. And that will help us to understand monolithic application architecture. Three fundamental components are user interface, which takes responsibility of handling all the user interactions. Business logic layer, which is depicted in the current diagram in form of business service 1 and business service 2. These will contain implementation of business cases. In short, whenever request will come from user interface, it will invoke a business service, and that business service may interact with database layer, which is the third important layer that keeps all the data following structure of database. One business service can invoke other business service as well. But yes, user interface, business service 1, business service 2, which is currently displayed in form of a diagram on the screen, they all will be part of a single process. Now, what all are the critical problems that we face when we go and adopt monolithic architecture to build our applications? First fundamental problem is large code base. This is the scenario where the code line outnumbers the comment by a great margin. In the same code, you need to ensure that components are interconnected, and that will create lots of repetitive code base. Second problem is too many business modules. We will have multiple different business modules coupling with each other. And since one business module is dependent on other business module, you will have high module coupling. If you have high module coupling, that will create complex code base where you will have chance of code breaking due to fix required in some of the dependent modules or services. And finally, it also creates complexity in deployment because you may come across multiple different